Hey guys, I'm the NFL Addict, and today I'll be going through my power rankings post-draft for the 2021 NFL offseason, I guess. Starting off in dead last, we have the Jaguars. I like the Trevor Lawrence pick, but I'm not too hot on the Travis Etienne pick. I feel like the only part of the offense that worked was James Robinson, the running back, and I don't think another running back was what they needed with the 23rd overall pick. Maybe later in the draft, that's something you can think about, but at that point, not the best pick. At 31st, we have the Jets. The bottom two remaining the same as it was in the regular season. The Jets, they got Zach Wilson, but a pretty good quarterback. Finally, hopefully, the Jets will finally, find some type of good passing game. They also got ATV. I can't remember which one it is for that offensive line. So, like what the Jets did in the draft, not good enough to bring them up any farther, but. The Eagles, they got the magical trio of Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, and Zach Ertz on that offense now. Other than that, though, they've completely gotten rid of everybody for cap. So, at 29th, we have the Broncos. This is another team that is in desperate need of some type of offense. And if Drew Lock can give that to them, or possibly Teddy Bridgewater can give that to them, then they'll shoot up. But I don't think it'll happen. If you're wondering why I'm going so fast through all of these, or I'm trying to go so fast, is because I already recorded this once. It took me 30 minutes to record it, and it turned out it hadn't recorded. So, kind of, not too happy about that. So, I'm not in a good mood right now, but I am still saying the same stuff. At 28th, the Texans had a pretty rough offseason. They had to get rid of Will Fuller. They had to get rid of J.J. Watt. They had to get rid of a lot of guys. And in the draft, they didn't have a lot of, they didn't have a lot of picks. They didn't have any first rounders. And they did. I don't think they even had any second rounders. I don't think they did get a quarterback that could possibly start if Deshaun Watson ends up being arrested or some way can't play. So that's good. They also got kind of a replacement for Will Fuller, but not really. 27th, we have the Panthers. They should have picked Justin Fields. They got another weapon for that offense, though, which I do like. Not offense. They got another weapon for that secondary, which I do like. So don't hate what the Panthers did. Could have done better, though. At 26, we have the Bears. Finally got a good quarterback, but we can't ignore the holes, so down at 26 they go. At 25th, we have the Bengals. I feel like they should have picked Penei Sewell. If they picked Penei Sewell, they wouldn't be down here in the red. They would be up in the orange, which, isn't saying much, but it is saying something. Jamar Chase definitely does help them when you already got Tyler Boyd and you already have T. Higgins. I know you lost A.J. Green, but I feel like that wasn't your biggest need, and definitely wasn't, a horrible handicapping loss. At 24th, I'm going to have the Lions. Penei Sewell was a steal in the draft. I feel like they made them a lot better. They did kind of take a drop down in quarterback over the offseason. I feel like Matthew Stafford is much better than Jared Goff. However, he's not terrible, so they stay at 24th. At 23rd, I have the Vikings. The Vikings are a really weird team. Last year was kind of an anomaly. The past couple of years before that, they had been pretty much in the playoffs every single year, and then they completely dropped off last year. Not much. I was really confused. Their defense was just absolutely horrendous. They added, they did something. They did try to fix it, but they didn't do too much. So at 23rd, they go because the end of last season, they kind of did start to figure things out. They were in the playoff conversation for like a week there. So if the Vikings can, keep that up, maybe they can do something this next season. 23rd is where they go. The 22nd are the Falcons. Kyle Pitts is a pretty good pick. Would I like to see defense or offensive line, though, so not too excited about that. 21st are the Cowboys. They got Dak Prescott, and then they haven't done much to fill their holes on offensive line, which I don't like. I feel like they should have got a lot more picks or signings, whatever, for the offensive line, and they didn't. At 20th, I'm going to have the Raiders. Alex Overback is a horrible pick, but they're known for their really terrible draft pick, so not too shocked by that one. However, it doesn't help them much. They are in the top 20, so, if that means something to you Raiders fans, then you're welcome. At 19th, we had the Colts. Didn't get their biggest need, which was not their biggest need, but they didn't do what I thought they should have done in the draft, which was get a wide receiver to pair with T.Y. Hilton. They got Carson Wentz, who he's not terrible. However, I don't think he's ever going to play in that 2017 MVP form again. At 18th, we've got the Chargers. A whole new coaching staff is definitely what they needed, and they got it. And I'm really interested to see what this new staff can do, or what this team can do now that they've got a new staff. And hopefully they will get some good play calls, and they won't do any more of that not play action, but Hopefully they will do play action, but hopefully they won't do any more of that pass protection on a QB sneak on the 1 yard line. And that's everything. We have the Giants. You got a lot more weapons for that offense. Now it's really up to Daniel Jones, because that defense played really good at the end of last year, and they re-signed a lot of the guys they needed to on that defense. They got Kyle Rudolph. This is not for the defense, but on that offense they got Kyle Rudolph, Kenny Galladay, had a wide receiver in the draft. So now if Daniel Jones can play really well, then they can definitely make the playoffs fairly easily. And then at 16, we have the Saints. Not as low as a lot of people put them, and this is simply because I don't hate Jameis Winston like a lot of other people do. He had bad decision-making, and I feel like that's something that you can kind of be coached out of. And when you sit a year behind Drew Brees and you have Sean Payton coaching you, I feel like that he's going to be a lot better. And now I feel like they did lose a lot of players, but they do still have a lot of those key players on offense. They got some holes on defense. They filled a couple of them in the draft, but not too crazy what they did. Fifth thing of Washington, really they need a quarterback. They got some speed on that offense with Adam Humphries, Curtis Samuel, and now in the draft they got Dyami Brown. That defense is probably top 5, I'm guessing. Or not guessing, but in my opinion, I think they're top 5. So really need a quarterback. That's about it for Washington. At 4th, we have the Cardinals. Added some veteran talent, and I feel like that's pretty good and all, but in a couple of years it's going to be gone. So for the long term, it's not very good. But as for right now, getting AJ Green and JJ Watt was very good for the Cardinals. At 13th, we have the Dolphins. Added Jalen Waddle, another wide receiver for Tua Tagovailoa. Speaking of Tua Tagovailoa, they didn't sign it or draft another quarterback to replace him, which I'd be very, very happy about if I was him. I think that kind of shows that they trust in him. They did sign Jacoby Brissett, but that was mainly for a veteran backup role. I doubt they expect Jacoby Brissett to ever start a game. At 12th, we have the 49ers. Ravaged by injuries last year, those guys are coming back. Now they have Trey Lance sitting behind Jimmy G. So if Jimmy G starts playing really bad and starts ruining games for them, they can put in Trey Lance and he'll go out there and lead them to the playoffs. I would hope if I was a 49ers fan. And 11th, the Patriots. They got Johnny Smith. They got Nelson Aguilar. They got a lot more weapons for that offense. So now their biggest need has been filled. They went from a team that's going to get 7 wins to 12 wins in one offseason, as long as Cam can, not screw things up. At 10th, entering the top 10, we have the Rams. They got an upgraded quarterback. I was talking about how the Lions got a downgrade. The Rams got an upgrade with Matthew Stafford. They also got Deshaun Jackson and a couple other weapons in the draft. So, like what they're doing to the offense, the defense was already dominant last year, and they re-signed a lot of guys. So, like what they're doing. Then we have the Steelers. They drafted a running back, which, I guess that will help with the fact they don't have a running game, but I really think they should have gone an offensive line there. That would have helped their running game a lot more, I feel. Though they are still a top 10 team in my opinion. Can't make it up into the best of the best. At 8th, I'm going to have the Ravens. Really, they went out and they were looking for wide receivers all throughout the offseason. They ended up getting Sammy Watkins, and they did manage to draft the guy because they were like, all right, if you're not going to come to us and sign with us, we're going to go to you and draft you. So the Ravens are at 8th. Wouldn't be surprised to see them make a run at things. At 7th, we have the Titans. The only reason they're not in the top 5 or higher, I guess there's nothing higher than the top 5, but if they're not, a 5th place or higher, is simply because they lost Adam Humphries. They lost Jonnu Smith. They lost but they lost one other guy that I can't think of the name, so I'm not even going to sit here and stutter about it. However, they do still have, and they didn't do anything to replace those guys either, so that doesn't help. But they do still have A.J. Brown. They do still have Derrick Henry, and they do still have a pretty good defense. So I like what the Titans are doing. They definitely deserve to be up here. At 6th, just out of the top 5, we have the Seahawks. Again, this is a team, I think they had 3 draft picks, so can't really critique them too much there. The only thing they haven't really done too much crazy stuff over the offseason. The only thing that they really haven't done is they have not dropped Russell Wilson or traded him, which I do like a lot. I think if I'm a Seahawks fan, I would really want for him to stay on the Seahawks. And the Seahawks organization is probably a bunch of Seahawks fans. So at 5th, we have the Packers. This is assuming Aaron Rodgers doesn't do what he's probably going to do and leave the team. If he leaves the team, the Packers are going to fall out of the top 10 just like that. I tried to snap. I don't know if you could hear it. Entering the top 4 in the Buccaneers. Re-signed a lot of guys. The only reason they're not, top 3, 2, 1 is because they did have a couple rough games last year. You can't ignore those. I know they beat the Saints in the playoffs, but in the regular season they got absolutely stomped. So you can't ignore those. However, I definitely think that the playoffs made up for that. They won the Super Bowl, obviously. And with the third place medal, we had the Browns. I thought they weren't going to do much this last season. I thought they were going to kind of coast through it, but no, they actually revamped that secondary completely, got a whole new secondary, basically, with John Johnson and a cornerback they got in the draft that I can't think of the name of. At second, I'm going to have the Bills. Already great defense. Now they've got Emmanuel Sanders to help that offense. Like what they're doing. Bills are at second. And number one, we have the Chiefs. Biggest thing this offseason was offensive line. Completely filled that. If you look at their draft, there was a lot of offensive linemen. They also got Joe Thuney, just signing him in the offseason. So I feel like Joe Thuney was just ring chasing. But so yeah, woo, guys. Went from 30 minutes to like 10 minutes, I hope. So thank you so much for watching. Whenever they do announce the schedule this Wednesday, first I will start off by taking that day. Well, I'll probably review it on Thursday because I'm pretty sure they release it a little late and I can't record late because it will wake everybody up. But this Thursday I will be not reviewing but reacting to the schedule, all the primetime games. And then every single day after that, you will be getting prediction vids, or as well as I can. I do still have 2 weeks left in middle school. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in my next one, and goodbye for now.